I'm just having a wee sneaky biscuit here, just before things get going. Alright. Good evening. Another wee live here. I'm not going to be a terribly long one this time. Need to get some. Need to grab a knife. One sec. I'm so scared of people I don't know what I can do about him. There we go. I got my knife. Alright, so another night on our life. We're actually about to start a new build tonight. So I've actually still not moved this bio in front of me here from the previous stream. Hey Brickers. How you doing, mate? I hope you're feeling a bit better today. Oh man, it was epic. It was so good. I don't think I realised how good it was until I finished it. It's just an absolute belter. It's finished. This is what I'm moving on to next. We're going to do this upscale minifigure, or scale up rather. So I've got 3 of these boils, 3 different ones. I've got this scaled up minifigure here, 40649, and I have the Octan one. Can't remember the set number for it. I also have the scaled up parrot minifigure from the Lego house, which another Lego friend, if you will, actually brought me back from the Lego house when he was visiting. So I've kind of got the 3 of them to build. So I actually thought I'd start off with this one. Obviously the Santa Claus is coming in October, so I'll be picking that up as well. And there is rumoured to be a blue upscaled space minifigure, scaled up rather, not upscaled, coming next year. So I'll be picking both of those up. And then we've got the little upscaled baby space minifigure as well, the gift of purchase, which I've got a few of. So I thought I might actually build these all now because I quite like to have them as part of my display. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. The parrot one looks class. I also got you have Bob. Who's Bob? is that what we call this boy? Hey, where's now? Are you? But yeah, who's Bob? Or is this Bob? Is Bob the dinosaur? I haven't actually decided what I'm going to call this boy yet. I've got quite a few of them brickers, but I haven't quite decided what I'm doing with them yet. But yeah, so the parrot one looks class as well. And I also got, you know, they have the 3-in-1 crate of parrots, and I got the pink one. I think I maybe got both of them actually, but I got one or the other, I'm not sure which one, to go along with the scaled up. I will get that at some point. The scaled up parrot minifigure. I think the 2 of them look class together. So, but first up, we're going to do this. So I'm going to move my T-Rex skeleton out of the way. So for anyone that's wondering why this is sitting here, anyone that's just joined in, I built this on a few of my previous live streams. So I built it over the last sort of 3 or 4. I have made the streams all public, but I don't know if anyone's going to want to go back and watch them. I thought bricks, I have finished them already, or Daniel should I say. I finished it just in case we were going live this Friday, because I kind of wanted it done prior to us starting the Krusty Burger. So I absolutely flew through it this week across a couple of streams. I'll be entirely honest with you, it was a really slow build to get into at the start. But as I got into it and the build started developing and taking shape, it actually became really hard to put down and stuff. So I literally flew through it on, I want to say Monday and Tuesday. Well, yeah, Monday and Tuesday on my days off. I did a couple of live streams Monday and Tuesday, and I absolutely rattled through it. So, how absolutely immense is it? Just before I move on to what I'm actually building tonight, I'll give you a quick look at this. I'll give it as much justice as I can here. So that, my friends, is the T-Rex dinosaur fossil. So we're talking, it's just over 1 meter in length. It's kind of hard to see, really, to be honest, and get the whole thing in, but she's mighty impressive. Even the head on is quite intimidating. That huge rib cage is just super imposing when you see it like this. I don't know where I'm going to put it, hence why it's still sitting on this desk. But I think for now, I'll stick it on the floor down here, out of harm's way, and then we'll bring up tonight's build. Oh, it's even better than I thought it was going to be, if I'm honest. Like I said, initially when I was building it, I, not necessarily saying I would find it hard to recommend, but it was so sort of focused on creating, you know, that sort of strong central core, which was all just, you know, bricks with studs on the side and so forth. A lot of the sort of snot bricks and things like that. And a bit of Technic and a bit of pins and this, that and the other, and then we're building the stand, and for a long time there wasn't really much to look at. So it was kind of hard to see that sort of progress, that build progress that I don't know, a lot of people take satisfaction from just seeing the build develop as they're going along, but we didn't get that for a long time. But then the body started taking shape, then the legs went on, the tail, and then that absolute monster of a skull. I actually held it up to my daughter's head the other night, and there was very little differentiation in size between the two, which was quite funny and interesting. So, but anyway, I'm not here tonight to talk about a previous stream that is available. I've made all the streams public. If anyone wants to go and have a look at them, by all means, go and check them out. Drop us a wee sub while you're at it. Sorry, I'm wielding the knife here. I'm just going to crack this box open here, and then we can sort of get into this. So that I'm all the style of the box. I'm pretty sure how this works. Well, it folds up. Okay. Stick my knife there. So tonight's build, folks, is set number 40649, and it is the scaled up Lego minifigure. So this has been sitting in my collection for some time, but I think he'll just make a nice little kind of mascot sitting somewhere. Oh hey Slurpee, how's tricks? Thanks for popping by. I did watch your stream with Daniel on Sunday night, but I didn't watch it live because I was too busy building the T-Rex. So, but it was very good. I really enjoyed it. You did a great job. I loved your stop motion as well. I was doing a bit of catch up there, so awesome stuff. But yes, so I can't wait to build this, to be honest. I think it'll be a nice wee mascot. I'm going to have a whole team in them. I have picked up a few more of these faces through Pick-a-Brick. So it really is. This is a Northern Ireland breakfast on here. It's good to have everyone on board. I kind of love, actually. I think that the Lego store was probably in Belfast has probably brought a lot more sort of local Lego fans to the fore, which I think is class. I've sort of come across a lot of people I hadn't even realised, and there's guys on here on Instagram that I haven't sort of encountered at any point, and literally realised that they're all local and sort of great creators. So it's kind of nice to sort of say hello to different folkies. But right, so we're going to build this, and like I said, I've got a few more of these faces off Pick-a-Brick, and it's just like a sort of curved tile. And I intend to create a few of these boys in different colours. I'd actually like to recreate myself. However, I've got long hair and I haven't quite sort of gotten to the bottom of how I'm going to do that. But there was the Harry Potter scaled up minifigures, the Hermione and Harry ones. And well, Hermione has long hair, and I'm not saying that my hair is as beautiful as hers. It's absolutely not. I won't pretend otherwise. But I kind of figured if I get those instructions, I might be able to use that as a sort of base for creating my head, and then yeah, we can sort of get creating a nice big scaled up stereo studs. But anyway, enough paper chat. Let's open this guy up. So this is quite cool. I can actually build out of this box. I love this box. You don't see many of these ones anymore. So there's this wee look at the inside. It's lovely and colourful. Isn't that so pretty? Lots of greens and yellows and blues and reds and all sorts in it. So the hat piece is a curious piece. Hey, stop motion guy, how you doing? So yeah, this is an interesting piece. So that's obviously just the headpiece of the hat. Sorry, I'm wagging around here like a nut job. We'll set that there over out of the way. Rightio, so we've got our instructions, and I don't see a QR code in this, so does that mean you can't get your points on this one? All 20 of them? See if there's anything interesting in the instruction on each. No, there isn't actually. There's no story, just the sort of little diagram showing you what bags are for what pieces, and so forth. So looks like we'll get through this quite quickly. You want to take a look at we slurp my tea here? Because Slurpy's got me slurping. Right, bag one it is then. So I'm just going to pop the box out on the floor out of the way for now. Just give me a bit more room on the desk here. Oh man, it's just absolute garbage. What do we drink? I know I'm usually a coffee drinker. I own a coffee shop, so coffee's kind of more my jam. But I'm trying to reduce my evening caffeine intake, so it's some rubbish Teddy decaf. I think it's just a warm drink at this stage. It doesn't really have to be anything more than that. I do plan at some point. Because I have an espresso machine in there at home. I plan to sort of try and incorporate coffee into my videos and my live streams a little bit. I actually want to have in my layout a big sort of coffee theme running throughout. So I do intend to have like a coffee roasters and 2 different coffee chains. I'm going to design my store in studio and then build that and have that kind of as the specialty coffee shop, and then there's going to be like a rival chain. I kind of want to do this. It's something I've been thinking about for ages. It's basically like a day in the life of the Lego Lab. So my coffee shop's called the Copper Lab. It's in Banbridge. And for anyone that's local and wants good coffee, pop down. I want to obviously, like I say, create that in Lego. I want to create that in Lego, and then sort of every week just take something crazy that's happened in the store and recreate it in Lego form, and sort of put it out as a day in the life of the Lego Lab. So I thought that would be quite cool. But then I also want to incorporate it into my layout with rival coffee chains. So not even sure where this conversation's come from or is going, but yeah, coffee. But tonight is just rubbish crappy tea. Hi Liam Rowe, how you doing mate? Thank you for popping by. Okay, the book, remember the book. This contains this is the faith that is word in the early church that was 21st century, the book is type of God. And OJ, very good. Interesting, okay, there's some interesting reading there folks, if anyone's so inclined. So yeah, right, so I've cracked open, there's 2 bags. I think this is building the body initially, and it's just a whole load of pieces on the table here, so we're just going to sort of crack on through. I thought brick. Oh, here, Bricksters, you asked earlier about the sort of joint stream. I think, if I'm right in saying, Daniel, that we're hoping to start it next Friday, so not Friday done, but the Friday after, if everything goes to plan. It dawned on me I have one small issue, and I haven't opened the box that my quickie mark's in yet, because I had intended at some point to do an unboxing or something of the like. And yeah, I have since purchased a lot more Lego, and I've just got tons of boxes sitting in another room, not even in my sort of main box room. And I don't know which box has the quickie mark in, so I think I might be able to do a wee bit of sort of jiggery pokery and investigative work to find sort of the delivery details from DPD, and I should be able to find the right box. I sort of I'm sort of semi-reluctant to open anything because I kind of always want to sort of consider for content. So, Liam, if you're talking about tonight, yes, I'm building this. Building the scaled up Lego minifigure set number 40649. I'll just set it up there actually, and then people can kind of see. Don't think that's sort of obstructing it anyway. So that's what we're building tonight. If it's a reference to what I was talking about previously about the collaborative build, we will be building the set together, the same set in the future. But that's for another night, so I don't want to talk too much about that. But yeah, I have to try and work out which box the set is in. It's certainly big for a minifigure, that's for sure. But I think that's the fun about it. I think it's class, I love it. I've kind of been really itching to build these for a while, and it's just sort of sat in my collection of boxes. No problem, Victor. Thank you very much for stopping by. Daniel, you have this built, haven't you? If I'm right in saying already, along with the pirate. I can't find this piece already. What have I done wrong here? I'll skip the page for one. Unless there's another bag one in there that I haven't come across yet, I'll come back to it in a second. No, I'll come back to it now because I'm missing quite a few pieces. There must be another bag in here. Oh, Paris sealed. I'm surprised you didn't buy two of them. One to build and one to keep. Undoubtedly you'll be back at the Lego house at some point. You can pick up another one. Yeah, it's a really pretty set. Liam, I must say, so there's like it's becoming a bit of a sub-theme. There's quite a few of them. Well, I'll say quite a few. There's three of them and the other one at the minute. One of them a bit harder to get than the other, that being obviously the parrot that I was just talking about a second ago, because that's exclusive to the Lego house. There's also the upscaled Octan, or scaled up Octan minifigure. And then there is a Santa Claus coming out in October, the 1st of October. And then there is also rumoured, that makes sense, Daniel, and obviously you picked me one up, which I'm super grateful for. So that was the first and potentially the only one, I think. He came home with a few that day, but that was, I don't know, man. I was so torn on whether I wanted any more or not. I'm so torn on whether I want to get any more or not, because I don't really. I'm one of these people that when I start collecting a theme, I sort of want to get them all. And I've missed a couple of the older ones, and some of them are a bit harder to get than others. And truth be told, I'm not that terribly interested in a lot of them. It's not to say that they're not class, but I'm not massively interested in them. This one I like because I can kind of take it out of the Lego house theme and drop it in with these scaled up minifigures, and they can be like a little crew, which I'm happy with. Liam, do you know Labubu? Is that, I keep hearing about these, but no, I'm not a big toy collector in general. I like Lego and that's pretty much it. I've seen a few people talking about these recently, but they're lost on me afraid to have to explain them what they are, because I really don't know. I brought another home for another creator as well. Ah, okay. You're a good man. What would we all do without you? I actually, whenever I went up to my garage to sort of choose a set to build tonight on the screen, in my head I thought I wanted to do one of the scaled up minifigures, and when I went over to pick this up, the pirate was sitting there as well, and I was massively torn on which one I should go for. But I thought, I'll save the parrot. It feels like it deserves sort of special treatment. You have the secret Labubu. Here, Labubus in general are somewhat of a secret to me, so I don't even know what can be any more secret than that. something that's passed me by, I'm afraid. Yeah, I thought. Right, okay, so I'm not sure. There's a bit of a mechanism in here. I'm not sure exactly what that's for. I think I think there's a little minifigure that sits inside. Is he able to control some bits and pieces? I don't know. Time will tell as we sort of get through the build. You know, for what it is. Hey, Burton Out Loud, how are you? Have you built this yourself? I've been sitting on it for so long and I've just kind of been itching to get at it, so sort of felt like the right time tonight. What am I doing here? Oh, that goes underneath. Yeah, well, it looks like there's going to be a blue spaceman next year, doesn't it? But I suppose until we have that, properly confirmed, we don't want to get too excited. But it seems inevitable. Sort of really sort of pumped the idea of it because I'd like to create a couple more of the space babies and need the tiles with the space logo on it so we can kind of do that properly. So I'm hoping that a wee blue space minifigure comes out and then we can sort of get creating a little bit more, which would be neat. We built a bit and we didn't do anything with it. Alright. So we're just creating sort of loads of these sort of, looks like structural pieces perhaps. Oh, it's a ×2. What a bugger. Why didn't they tell me that at the start of the instruction? I hate that. For fuck's sake, I like to do, if it's a ×2, I like to do them both together at the same time. But it didn't tell me. It was a ×2 until I got to the end of the sort of set of instructions. So we go again. So has anyone sort of managed to build all of the that's back on again. We back? Are we back online? Yeah, I can actually find my electricity went out very briefly there, so I don't know what's going on. It does happen from time to time, it's not terribly unusual, it's a bit of an inconvenience, but it's thrown our Wi-Fi off and it takes a wee while for it to boot back up again, so I presume that I'm still streaming at the minute on 4G or something like that, but I can't actually see what's going on now, so apologies if I'm not responding or interacting in any way, but once I get connected back up again, I'll sort of catch up on what's going on. Just got very dark all of a sudden there. I can't even see if the stream is actually still on. I presume it is. I'll pop over and check my phone now. But if you can't hear me, just let us know in the comments there. Just anything, just like hello or I can hear you or something. I'll pop over now and have a wee look at my phone and just see see what's going on. Hey Red Frog. Okay, I presume everything's running fine there. Like I said, my power on was off there, so my internet and everything went down, so I just wasn't 100% sure what exactly is going on stream-wise, but I think things coming back now. I think everything is okay, wasn't it? Okay, we're back in now, I think. Apologies for that, folks. Yeah, just had our power just went off and just shot straight back on again. So, Red Frog, I am really good, thank you, mate. How are you? Hope you're keeping well. Thank you for dropping by. Just building some big minifigures. Big minifigures is kind of a contradiction, really. We're building a scale-up minifigure. So it's set 40649. So I think this is still available. I'm pretty sure it is. So we're just sort of creating the angle here with just a few each sort of Technic bricks and then just some pins and stuff, and that just helps create sort of the sides of the. Well, it doesn't go together very well. It's not easy to join up. Okay, yeah. So that's just creating the sides, and obviously the arms will go on here. So just nicely we've sort of worked that to create that angle shape for the body. And then go through just to kind of hold it all together, I presume. And then it just sits in there. Very nicely done. And again, in terms of the body itself, where those angle bits come down, there's just a few little slopes and stuff just to sort of fill in the gap. So there's still a wee bit of a gap, but I think all things considered, it's not too bad. Right, so push them on in a wee bit. Gosh, this is quite an interesting build, this. It's a lot of brackets and snot bricks and all sorts here, so it's quite an interesting build. I thought it was going to be relatively straightforward. Get on to your man Daniel there. He's Slurpy. He's the man when it comes to picking up the power figures. That's where I got mine from. He picked one up for me on one of the trips to the Lego house. So yeah, a lot of sideways building here, just to sort of fill in the gaps and kind of create the surfaces to build onto. Although I think the Lego house is a little less accessible from the UK now than it used to be, because I'm right in saying that Ryanair no longer fly direct to Billund. So, it's now a case of connecting, flying to one place and travelling on from there, which kind of increased the price a wee bit, so maybe it'll not be there as much anymore. would love to get myself at some point, but don't know if/when it'll ever happen. That is a really curious thing to put in there. Why does that go in there? Why am I doing that there? So we have this turntable here, which has went onto the top, and the turntable has a hole in the middle of it. And we have one of these little sort of, I don't really know what the specific term for these is, but it's a little cross kind of axle pins. And obviously it's not round, so it just slides into the hole, but then there's a 2x2 plate goes over the top of it and goes in there, so it's a bit curious. It has a bit of a rattle. I'm not sure what that's all about. There's got to be a reason, but it's beyond me. I'd love to do a tour of it myself. Oh, I'd love to go. Like I think it's class. I think it's kind of one of the things you probably have to do at some stage, but man, it's just too busy at times, and it's not really somewhere to go on holiday. So I don't know. Doesn't seem like it's going to happen in a hurry. I've never been to any Lego Con. I really wanted to go to Bricktastic last year in Manchester, and it's just, I work Saturdays. I work every Saturday, so it's very hard for me to get anywhere. And even Dublin Brick Con, I've not even been yet. I'm really hoping to get down this year, even if I can just get down to the Sunday. But no, I'm so bad. I'm so useless at sort of interacting and getting the things. And I'd love to, because obviously that's where you sort of meet other Lego fans and stuff, and you know, other people that share that hobby with you, and you can have their crack on, like, so kind of makes sense that you should make the effort, but it just hasn't quite worked out for me. What about yourself? You know, a lot of this build, to all intents and purposes, looks like absolutely nothing until it all comes together. It's a very curious build. Like I said, it's just a lot of brackets. Again, we've got this interesting little contraption here. I have no idea what that's going to be. I would absolutely love to go. I lived in Manchester for a long time too, so like I love the spot. It's one of my favourite places. But we've actually literally just booked our summer holiday for next year, and we're going to Florida. So I don't really see how I could possibly go to Bricktastic at the same time. Like the Florida holiday is going to cost an absolute fortune, you know. So yeah, I don't really know how that's going to work out. So I might have to forego it again this year, which is unfortunate. But I'm going to Florida, so I'm not that worried. In the Brickwood in Chicago. Oh, did you? Amazing! That just looks insane. Oh, I think I maybe heard you talking about that actually Sunday night. Now that you mention it. Yeah, that looks like a real showstopper, and definitely another one that needs to sort of go onto the agenda, but that's going to be even less viable given that it's transatlantic. Maybe one day. I'll not say no. David William James, hey man, how are you? Thanks for dropping in. Do you know, that's a very good point. It's so easy, isn't it, to spend all of your time creating content and just not taking in, you know, or you know, the actual venue itself and the displays and all that jazz, and it's very easy to sort of get carried away with the content creation side. This is, and if you're getting billed, I'm not gonna lie. So here we have these little ball joints that need to go into kind of the other side of the. So there's a little ball with a cross hole in it, and then it goes into this little sort of grey holder. But you have to have these lined up, and it's not that super easy. there's a will, there's a way. There's nothing. Yeah, saw that in your YouTube video. Yeah, did a good job padding it all out with a good solid intro. Yeah, I wouldn't have a huge amount of confidence to be honest when I'm out and about, so I wouldn't do a whole lot. But I was lucky enough to get to go to the preview evening, so I was able to sort of do a bit of vlogging at the preview evening, and then I didn't feel compelled to do any when I was at the actual store opening on the Thursday, which was just a good job because I spent 4 hours in a queue because I got there a wee bit later, and it wouldn't have made for the most interesting vlog. And it was such good crack actually. I had a really good night as well. Antonia Baxter, how you doing? What's your biggest set piece count? Ooh, I suspect it's the Titanic. I'm pretty sure that's the biggest set in my collection. It is a bit of a monster. I only exclusively mix up motions, but I like to branch out and do more Lego stuff. How did the preview go? The preview was brilliant. I really enjoyed it. It was nice and well, it wasn't even quiet. It was still very busy. But it was just nice to kind of get into the store, sort of unobstructed without it being absolutely overwhelmingly busy like it was on Wednesday itself. And there's some really good people there, like, you know, so there's a couple of guys this week on Instagram that I've never ever spoken to before. It was all they meet them and sort of just hang out and sort of chat Lego and catch up with staff, and you know, you just have a bit more time to properly enjoy the store opening, you know, whereas the actual day of the opening itself is just manic. I'm telling you, it's a very small selection of my sets. I'll move out of the way so you can see them all a little better. So yeah, this is stuff that I've built recently. So this is the medieval market square from the Lego Icons range, and that's the Sanderson's cottage, and then we've got the brick cross station up on the top there. They're stuff that I've been building on live streams, and then this is stuff that I've sort of had displayed for a long time. The nice castle, that's the wee forest man gift and purchase, and then sort of a multitude of the modulars, and then that's actually a mock. And then we've got the surf shop, the fishing shop, and Ninjago City Docks at the top there. So that's just a very, very small selection of my sets. I have a garage that is absolutely full of sets, a lot of them unbuilt. How much does it all cost? My goodness, I wouldn't like to put a number on how much I spent on Lego. I say what you're seeing here, if we average about a couple of hundred a set, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, so maybe 2.5 to 3,000 there. At a guess. But like I said, that's a fraction of my Lego. I do have a lot more. Check out my videos. Even if you check out my intro video from when I started my channel, that gives you a real good insight into my selection. Jeff Perry head of the store again. My mate lives near. He said it was definitely coming around a lot. No, that'll be a good idea. Going to see how many people get the Death Star. I suspect it'll be more than you expect. My brother stole my red and poly bag and lost it. Oh, what a bum. Hope you give him a good beating. That's really annoying. Mika, hi, how are you? Thank you very much. My day has been great. What about you? How are you getting on? So I know you said you were about an hour or so away. Do you live sort of north, or whereabouts in the country are you? I'm like just outside Banbridge, so that it's so accessible to me. My daughter's down to go down to Belfast tomorrow night, so I might go down for a wee jaunt. I want to pick up anything but Malchus. Metal. I want to pick up some pick-a-brick and maybe the Sega Mega Drive. Maybe the Sega Mega Drive gift of purchase. I don't know if I care that much for it actually, but if I can get enough useful parts, then I would be sort of okay with spending enough to pick up that. This is really cool. So this is the kind of this section of the minifigure that the legs go onto. It's all built upside down. It's really well done. But then they've used a few brackets to sort of flip it over on the top, so we've got studs kind of on the bottom, both sides, and on the top. So it's very, very well done. So we're almost finished bag one. I can't remember exactly how many bags there are, but I don't think there's a huge amount left in the box. And this is very nicely rounded off here. Right, so that's where we're up to. So that's bag one finished. So we've got, I want to say, we have the torso, and then we have the top of the legs. It's actually smaller than I thought it was going to be, if I'm entirely honest. So I think the picture on the box is actually scale. I think that's the actual size of it when it's built. So I can compare that once we get it finished. Now we're on the bag number 2. Maybe a few more bags left after this. Alright, okay, so it wants us to join these together now. I don't think there's a right way or wrong way to do it. There we are. So, we're taking shape nicely. Now on the back. Right, so starting off by the looks of it with the right leg. I just want to see if these are built in the exact same fashion, because if they are, I'll do them both together. They're not, they're slightly different. Okay, let's get going. So again, it's kind of built upside down. Oh well, no it's not. It's built upside down to begin with. I'm going to try and finish this on the stream tonight. What is it? 7:45? That can't be right. 8:45? Would that make more sense? I think the clock's wrong on my computer. I don't understand how that can be whenever it's all sort of connected to the network and updated. So yeah, anyone just joining, we're building this little boy today, 40649. It's the scaled up minifigure. So this is the first of these sets that I've built, and I do have two more in my collection, not this set again, but two sort of variations. There's the Octan scaled up minifigure and then the pirate one. So I do plan to build them all in due course. And then there are a couple more coming, so I thought these would be great wee sets. They're not big builds. thought it would display really nicely somewhere in my collection. Right, so this should build up very quickly because it's a lot of brickwork, and then I think this is just one leg in this bag, so presumably we'll have another bag in there. It'll be the left leg. It shouldn't take too long to get through it. And we'll have a nice wee mascot, I suppose, for the Lego room. It kind of astounds me how to come up with these designs. I presume that's just to give it a wee bit of sort of stability and stuff. Fantastic. Again, a lot of snot bricks and sideways building to sort of create this shape. And there's a lot of studs on the side and studs on the top and studs everywhere. It's very well done. It's nice, you know, to actually nice to build some of these sets because you do get a lot of learnings from them, a lot of sort of building techniques rather, and a lot of good ideas, you know, for developing your own builds and so forth. There's a lot of stuff in here I wouldn't even think of doing. I suppose as a designer, probably helps that you have an absolute plethora of parts to work with, but even still, that's not taking anything away from. Slurpee, from what I can tell, there is meant to be a blue spaceman in my class. And look at that there. That's nice. So they've used the curved bricks and the sort of inverted arches, and that just gives you that freedom of movement there. It is exactly upscaled. Lego minifigure is fantastic. Even everything about it. That's so good. And we've got that wee maneuverability there, so that's class. Yeah, from what I've heard, there's meant to be a blue, it's scaled up spaceman. But now that's very much at the rumour stage. But the people that I've heard say it are generally pretty bang on, and only really post if they have, you know, a bit of confidence. So I'd be amazed if it doesn't indeed come about. Like I was saying earlier though, I want it almost more so because I want the blue space tile that comes with it, so that I can create a couple more of the baby space figures in different colours. Well, I'm saying different colours, I'm not doing blue one to go with the wee red one. I want to have like a wee crew of scaled up minifigures in my Lego room. And then I would like to create myself, but as I said earlier, I have long hair and I'm just sort of mulling over how to recreate the hair, but if I can get the instructions for that scaled up, Like I've seen quite a few people do sort of their own sort of scale up bodies and then sort of tweaking the busts so that the busts can fit on the body. I've seen like a Boba Fett and a Mando and stuff, and I thought they were class. Definitely would be a huge appeal to Star Wars fans, that's for sure. Who knows, maybe they will. They did, like I said, they did previously do Harry Potter ones, so you know, there is always a chance that they might sort of visit some other things. Like there's bound to be the demand and popularity within the Star Wars fan base for something like that. I think it would be huge actually. And then, like I said, even if they were smart enough to design it in such a way that you know you could incorporate the busts into them, that would be absolutely banging. Such a great idea. It'd be a good way to sort of sell the busts as well. Imagine like your own sort of scaled up Darth Vader, with a Darth Vader bust, or not bust, you know what I mean? The headpieces, whatever you call them. Right, so we're near enough finished the legs. Oh, I forgot something. I'm missing a whole row somewhere. Okay, it's gone early here. Yeah, it'd be pretty cool, I think. It doesn't, like, to me it sounds like a very obvious thing. Like I said, there's people have kind of done it in sort of mock fashion, you know, so it's been floated around, you know, so, but it'd be a really good way, wouldn't it, to sort of incorporate existing sets into you know, a new set and creating something really interesting. I wonder if anyone that has done that has shared their instructions on Rebreakable or anything, even, you know, well, I presume the actual build itself is very akin to, you know, what we've got here and the instructions for these ones, you know, so I can't imagine it would be that difficult to sort of pull together. Formula One channel, support this man. Right on. Ezra Fadi, hello, how are you? Thank you for stopping by and saying hello. Really lucky, so bag 2 finished, and we now have a headless, armless walking minifigure. How class is that? At least I can kind of stand him up there now while I get on to the next bit. Set that back there, and then I don't need to keep moving this box. Guys, anyone that's just tuning in, I'll wait till I've emptied that out. Anyone that's just tuning in, we're currently building the scaled up minifigure 40649. So we're just over halfway through it, I think. You can see in front of me here, that's the body and the torso. Actually, I thought it was the same scale as this here, is it? Hard for me to see from here, but maybe you can see a wee bit better. It's fairly similar, I think. Nonetheless, it's pretty good. Right, on to the arms, I would expect, or part of them. There's not a lot of brick here, so I don't quite know what we're making, but there's again a lot of brackets. There's a real brackety build. I suppose that's just how you sort of move the studs around all over the place. should get this finished on tonight's stream because there's not a huge amount left to do. Actually, do you know what? This could very well be both arms right here. It didn't look like there was enough pieces here to build out the two arms, but it could be wrong. Anyone in the chat, have you built this set yourself? What do you think about it? What do you think of these scaled up minifigures in general? Are you a fan? Do you have any of them? I like it, for what it's worth. I'll try and, the next few live streams, I'll try and sort of build my way through a couple of them anyway. Alright, so in there. It's very, very, very well designed. It's just done in such a way that it's pretty sort of seamless. You know, there's little by way of sort of gaps or anything like that. You know, everything's joined in really, really well. Using the various wedges and curved pieces and everything, and sort of the wee angled bricks, and just has come together so well. You know, because obviously we're recreating like a 45-degree angle there, but it's pretty flawless, if I say so myself. It's really well done. Hey Anakin, how are you? Good seeing you. Alright, there we go. So we've got an arm now. You can see the arm does a full spinneroonie like the real figure. And now it's time to create the hand. I suspect that I'm going to do the two hands at the same time because they've got to be exactly the same. Please don't let this be a moment where I get it all wrong. It's a Lego minifigure, their hands are the same. You got a new puppy? Class. I don't. I'm not a big dog fan, but you know, for people that are, that's cool. What did you get? What sort of dog is it? This will be a bit figure this. Cheers, Mike, I appreciate it. Generally speaking, the Irish/Northern Irish accent is reasonably well received. Although I do appreciate that sometimes, especially when I'm speaking quick, it can be hard to make out, so. Alrighty, so this goes on like so, I believe. Here we have our first hand. Toy poodle and a cocker spaniel. So what would that be called? Cocker spaniel. I can't even imagine what that would look like. Like I said, I'm not a big dog person, so Generally with no clue. Is that, have you had dogs before, or do you have another dog, or is this the first one in your house? Alrighty. What have we got here? Just these funny pieces to go in. Just using some random pieces. I presume they're just for guidance because there's a lot of red. So it can get a wee bit lost sometimes in building when all the pieces look the same. So just put a few kind of random purple and tan studs and like wee corner tiles. But again, I presume that was merely just to sort of guide you when you're building, help you through, follow the instructions a bit better. That's amazing. Whenever when I tipped out those parts from that bag, I sort of looked at it, I definitely didn't see enough parts to build 2 arms. I think I maybe over-egged the size of the minifigure's arm and such. They are quite small, I guess. So they don't really need that much. But still wasn't expecting that to be enough to sort of build that out. That's quite good. We're building a wee bit of memory here. So that pretty much finishes off the arm, or the arms rather. Just stick that on there. And there we have our figure now with everything bar his head, so he's looking good, all of it. So class. Quite bulky. So this is definitely a bit bigger. I thought that was actually scale model, but it is a touch larger on the actual box itself. But okay, so all that leaves us now with is the head and the hat. And there's obviously a nice wee surprise in the head, which we'll come to in due course. I'm not really not just yet. For anyone that hasn't seen this set, well, it's rather the hat has a nice wee surprise in it. It's kind of a bit like I built, you can't really see it at the minute, it was at the start of the stream, I built the T-Rex dinosaur fossil over a couple of previous live streams, and there's a really cool Easter egg in it there's a frog with a steering wheel sort of built into kind of the spine of the T-Rex, so theoretically he is driving the T-Rex. This is a little bit fun, so again there's something a wee bit interesting in this one as well. Kind of reminds me a bit of a brickhead this section of build. Just in the way that it's built. Again, a lot of upside down. They're in their own place. Come on, there we go. Alright, so that goes into that. Jose Miguel Company Cardell said hi. Hi Jose, how are you? Alejandro Justice Sanchez said hi. All the Spanish are coming in. Hi, how you doing? Michael, what's your favourite theme that Lego's done? It's a great question, like it. Really good question. And I'm going to return it to you as well, so let me know in the comments what yours is. For me, it's a tough one. It's not really a theme per se, but I would have to say, I think for generally speaking, I love Lego trains. So if I had to choose any one thing, it would be Lego trains. If I had to choose a specific theme, then and I had to choose one favourite, I actually think I would go for Lego Ideas. I think some of the Lego Ideas sets are great, and there's just so much variety in the sets they put out. There's big builds, there's small builds, there's like sort of lifestyle builds, there's stuff that you could theoretically factor into a layout, just cool display things, so I think I'd probably go with Lego Ideas. If I was choosing one, that or the Lego Icons range. But again, there's a lot of sets in the Icons range I don't really care for. I do love, the buildings and stuff like that. But trains first and foremost. Then if I on the spot had to choose one specific theme, I'm going with Lego Ideas. Star Wars absolutely counts, and given the helmet in your picture there, I'm imagining Star Wars is going to be your go-to. I like Star Wars, but I don't do Lego Star Wars. There's just so much of it that I'm not willing to get involved. I did start collecting the sets from the Mandalorian.
You're mad. Oh, sorry.
Whenever it came out. But then again, they started sort of pushing out way too many sets, and I couldn't keep up. Didn't want to keep up, to be honest. So, I do like Star Wars is great. There's some fantastic sets, but it's one that I have chose to bypass. Right, sorry, just going to make sure that I concentrate on what I'm doing here. Just sort of failed to notice that there's a slight difference in these two bits. That's pretty much just finished. Not particularly. Funny, like I do watch a lot of live streams myself. I know a lot of time people will be a lot slower. In my streams, the chat's not exactly crazy busy, so I don't spend a lot of time sort of looking at chat. And no, I find that I can chat away and build no problem. Like I say, I kind of almost talk. Every now and again, I do have to concentrate, and this is one of those moments. I sort of talk into the table rather than into the what's going on here, rather than into the camera, so I can still remain focused on what I'm doing. I don't find it too difficult, really. There we have the head. That's quite funny. Do you know, like, for such a small thing, there is a lot of parts and a lot of techniques and a lot of fun building techniques that go into that just to create that little head. So he then clips on there, and as you can see, his head can rotate, which leaves us with just a hat to go. Like I said, there's a fun wee Easter egg in the hat. There's actually a part in here that will sort of give it away a little bit. I'll show you. Where is it? Here it is. So this little part here then, little control panel. So yeah, that obviously goes into the hat. And we have this little minifigure here. He's just a super plain Jane. That's okay. Sorry, my daughter was just in the room there. Just a super plain Jane. Well, it's actually the minifigure version of the upscale minifigure. So there he is. So I'll just set him down in front for now, or maybe can he go into the hand? Let's see, tilt that arm up like that. Let's see, we can make this work. He can just sit in there. There we go. Class. So he can just sit in there for now until we get to the end. But he has a job to do. Which we'll get to. So we're nearly done. This is the last bag. It shouldn't take too long to roll through this. And I think that's been successful. I'm happy with that progress. It's a nice quick build. And then it's just another set that I have to sort of try and find a home for. I'm sort of stacking up, and I've been building a lot of late. Which is good because like I was saying to someone earlier in the stream up, I do have a lot of sets. And they've been weighing heavy on me, so it's kind of nice to actually get building. I might have a little poll out for my Friday night stream to help me decide what to build on that stream, because I'm sort of at a bit of a loss. I don't know whether I'll maybe do the pirate minifigure or I'll do something a bit more substantial. We've just got a lot of. Oh, I understand. So this is kind of the peak. Kind of get how this is working now. And then just tons of brackets down the side, just so that we can build it throughout, front, back, and side. At this point, it's very hard to determine what on earth I'm building. Only for the fact I know it's the hat. Bazir Ahmed Ashorum said hi. Hi Ahmed, how are you? Or Basir, sorry. Apologies for butchering your name. I thought I was missing a piece there, but it was right in front of me. Okay, so, right, this is a ×2, and I actually noticed it in times that I can do it that way. Easy dagger. Oh no. Oh god. Put that piece of gun away from me. Right. Just watching the remaining pieces sort of dwindling here, slowly but surely. We're on the home stretch now. Do I want it to end? I don't know. Kind of nice, so when you finish a build and you get to sort of step back and have a look at it. Especially sort of one as unique as this here. so that goes on there. I'm not quite building this as per instruction, but least favourite Lego thing. I don't particularly care much for Lego Friends. However, recently there has been a few pretty neat sets come out of the Friends line. I hate the mini dolls. I will never enjoy them. I also don't really care too much for Disney. It's just none of the sets overly appeal to me, and again, they're usually pretty mini doll heavy. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some of the sort of, those are Disney sets, but they're not in the Disney theme, if you know what I mean. There's the likes of the Winnie the Pooh there that come through the Lego ideas and the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, sets like that are pretty cool. But the theme itself, I don't really care too much for. I don't dislike Ninjago, but I don't collect it. Dreams, I don't know. I don't care much for it. I don't dislike it. I'm sorry, when I say like Ninjago, to be fair, I do have some Ninjago sets. I love these boys up here. The big sort of Ninjago gardens and city and docks and all that kind of stuff. I love them. There's a lot of themes that I'm just not interested in, but Monkey Kids again. Some of the stuff's pretty cool, but I'm just not overly bothered. But if I had to choose one, that would be my least favourite set, probably Lego Friends. But I think that's a bit unfair. I think Lego Friends probably just a wee bit of. Greetings, Phil. You're working tonight, fabulous. Nice. You're obviously very busy, Britain Bruce. Thanks for stopping by. What way is this going? Make sure I have this right. So that goes like that. And that goes like that. I'm really good, thank you. I'm almost finished. It's sort of coming in right at the death of this one. I've never watched any of the Ninjago shows, so I don't know anything about them, to be honest. I do like like I said, the only sets that I really care for are the bigger ones, you know, because I kind of can incorporate them into my layout somehow. But I don't know much about the show, and I don't care much for any of the other sets. Although having said that, a couple of the Macs that they've just released are pretty damn epic. There's like two that they released very recently. Regular can all get done another time. I couldn't tell you what's on the phone. Michael, where do you watch Ninjago? Is it on Netflix? No, nor have I. I just like I enjoy Lego. I don't really care much for any other Lego content. I don't mind, like some of the games were quite good, you know, the Lego Star Wars and Lego Indiana Jones and stuff like that. They were fun. But I suspect right down here. Oh dear, made a mistake. I might be able to put that right. No, we're good. I am, yeah, 100%. Might even day one it. No, I don't know if I day one or not, but but it's yeah, it's very much high on my get agenda. There is, we were talking about this earlier, there's a space one rumoured to be coming out next year, Blue Spaceman, which I will get as well. And I do have the Pirate from Lego House, and I have the Octan one, so I actually intend to sort of build my way through them all now over the next few streams. I think we're finished here. I think that is the end of this. Yeah, I think the Space One will be a no-brainer. It'll sell really well. And then just, you know, obviously they brought out the baby space upscaled space baby, whatever you call it, I can't remember. And then obviously if you bring out a Blue Spaceman, then you'll have the parts to be able to, I can't quite get this on. I don't think that's red. You'll be able to, you'll have the tiles to be able to create, there we go. Blue Space baby as well, so we can start to create a wee duo then. Right, there we go, so that's what's finished. This is probably my least favourite bit about this here, is the helmet. It's a funny shape, it's just not quite, or not the helmet, the hat. It's just not quite rounded enough at the rear. I don't know if that is to allow them to add this little feature here. But basically, what we're really getting at here is this guy is being controlled by his minifigure counterpart. I'll just let you have a look at this. So there we go. That's what's inside the hat then. So our little minifigure is hiding in there, driving his big upscale counterpart. So if we stick that on, that is us. Finished. Excellent. That's pretty good. I enjoyed that build. Yeah, it's a great IP. I think they've just nailed the line altogether. Everyone's brought out been really cool. And when I was talking to somebody earlier about doing Star Wars ones, because I have seen people that have incorporated, you know, the Star Wars heads or busts, whatever you call them, onto an upscaled minifigure body. I think it'd be great if they created an upscaled minifigure that, you know, Star Wars one where you can maybe take a standard head off and put one of those figures on. Might need to be a bit bigger actually though, because these are actually a bit smaller than I thought, but there we go. I'll bring the camera over so you can have a better look at this. Right, so there we have him. There is our upscaled minifigure in all his glory. Turn him around. You can see, oh, his head's turned. You can see sort of the whole way around. Then obviously his head turns, arms raise, and his legs all move as well. So you can pose him however you please. So anyway, that is me finished for tonight. Thank you very much to everyone that's tuned in. If you want to see a few more builds on live streams, I will be building again on Friday night. But obviously drop us a wee sub and you'll get a wee notification then when that happens. I don't know what I'm building yet actually on Friday night. Obviously there's the bad boy that we built on our last stream, and it is super impressive. Let's actually see what these two are like together. There we go. Two friends. I love it. So yeah, that'll do us for tonight anyway. Like I said, thank you very much for tuning in. Drop us a wee sub and stay tuned. I'll maybe build the Pirate or the Octan guy in the next stream. But I'm going to wrap it up here now anyway, and I'll catch us all on the next one. Thanks very much and have a great evening. See you later.